Alright, so today's not as straightforward as we want because we don't really have a bias going into today. The draw isn't necessarily clear, but we can at least go over what we do know. And as of right now, we do know that we've rebalanced to equilibrium of this range, come back down to this 50% level. We've also come into contact with the consummate encroachment of this gap right here on the 4-hour and the 1-hour. So we've rebalanced to larger time frame inefficiencies as well as equilibrium of the range. So if we want to continue to the upside, then we're going to need to see some structure built, maybe a sweep of these most recent lows, something on a smaller time frame to then provide us our setup to then take higher to all of these fairly low resistance draws on buy side liquidity resting above. If we want to go lower, I would like to see one of those buy side levels get swept before we go lower. So if we are going to come down here, take out this low and potentially all of these lows, then I would like to see one, if not all three of these buy side levels get swept and then our setup formed. Manipulation, change in the state of delivery, pull back to an inefficiency or equilibrium of that range, and then targeting sell side. We do have news today, 30 minutes after market opens, so we do want to be aware of that going into today. And if we see any setups prior to that news coming out, we just have to be cautious and potentially size down just in case that news inflicts the volatility and causes us to get stopped out real quick. So we're just going to play today patient. We don't really know what we're looking for yet, and that's fine. We're just going to allow price to tell us when and where it wants to go. And we're going to be reactive and simply observe until that happens. I also don't normally trade on the 2-minute, but since we do have a setup forming on the 2-minute, I may as well execute on it. We do have a 1-minute we do have a 2-minute fair value gap on our way up after we had our change in the state. Also after we had our manipulation, also after we had our liquidity sweep down here. So I will probably base this trade off the 2-minute. I'm going to size down to 2 contracts rather than 3. If we tap back into this fair value gap, I'll enter that and then put my stop below this candle's wick, and then we'll see if we can take it up higher. Alright, we are in that 2-minute gap. As long as we get a good close and we don't just blast through where our stop could potentially be, I would be interested in taking long positions. I'll take a stab at it. Why not? Everything lined up for the most part, and we do have little tiny baby SMT on the 1-minute. We didn't quite come down and take out that level where my stop would be, which would be the low of this candle. So we did get close. I think I still want to put my stop there. It is a bit tight and we could very well get wicked out of it, but it's a Friday and I really don't feel like risking a whole lot, so we'll throw our stop right there. ES just did take out that recent low. Putting in another SMT. Alright, yeah, that got us out. Yeah, so we kept our loss fairly small today. Nice and tight. Price could still go up there and take out that buy side. There's a lot of low resistance liquidity on the way up. What I was kind of basing it off of was the 2-minute, this fair value gap. I wanted to see it tap into, and after we got a fairly strong close above it, I felt good about taking that. And then price just decided to come back down and get us all out. So that invalidates my trade setup, and that's where we're going to call it for today. Yeah, so we're only down like 120 bucks on the day. So nothing crazy, all good. We're going to take a break over the weekend and come back Monday nice and rested.